لنا والحق لنا.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All praises for Allah, the Almighty, who holds the control of entire universe. All the blessings of Allah for those this universe has been created. I call on all the Muslims of the world to select as Al-Quds Day, the last Friday in the holy month of Ramadan, which is itself a determining period and can also be the determiner of the Palestinian people's faith, and through a ceremony demonstrating the solidarity of Muslims worldwide, announce their support for the legitimate rights of the Muslims people. I ask God Almighty for the victory of the Muslims over the infidels. These words given by Ruhullah Khomeini.
Before Mecca, it was in Jerusalem, the Holy Mosque, Quds. And not only that it is a sacred mosque, it is also sacred to other religions, to the Jews, Christians, and Muslims. We respect and accept that it is dignified to all other religions as well, to other religions like Jews and Christians. And we do not in any way believe in ridding other faiths for not entering or worshipping in the sacred mosque. What we do believe is that it should be not controlled by certain political parties or faiths.
Of the Islamic world and humanity as well. So under such circumstances, following the Islamic revolution and in line with its anti-colonial stance, support for the legitimate right of the Palestinian people became one of the main priorities of Iran's foreign policy. The strong conviction to defend the rights of oppressed people around the world, especially those of Palestinians, was also enshrined in the constitution approved by an overwhelming majority of Iranians. In a move to make this solution effective, the Islamic Republic of Iran has officially presented a plan initiated by the International Conference on Palestine in Tehran concerning a national referendum in the Palestinian territory, in the whole Palestinian land.
Regarding the opposition of Judaism to Zionism, is the fact that the Zionist ideology taught or advocated the taking over of a country with an existing indigenous population and to form a sectarian state, a non-religious state, irrespective of the consequences to the indigenous people living in the land. We would wish to live together as friends and neighbours, as we have done mostly over hundreds, even thousands of years, in all the Arab countries. It is a fact that it was only the advent of the Zionists and Zionism which upset this age-old relationship.
So so-called Christian Zionists do much harm, apart from being stupid. There is no justification for Christian Zionism in the Holy Scriptures, in the Bible, which is a completely mistaken, false and arbitrary doctrine, and I completely repudiate it. And indeed, the Catholic Church, all the Christian churches do not support it. Although there is a kind of blackmail, a moral, spiritual blackmail, which he used to legitimize the authority of the presence of exclusive presence of a nation in Jerusalem. And I do condemn President Trump's initiative to move the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. It was a wrong action. It was bellicose. It was mistake.
Systematic oppression of the Palestinians. They have been ethnically cleansed. There have been genocidal acts against them, and it's been supported by the powers around the world. This injustice is not just the injustice that it happens in darkness. It's happening on the daylight. It's happening, in front of our visions on television screens, and it's happening in the daylight and very obvious.
Zionist American policies, not only in Palestine but all over the region, and not only against Muslims but all over anybody who are in front of them or against them. What is happening today in Palestine, that the extremist organizations like Halafa, which they are the descendant of Kah extremist organization, they are today taking ground even in the political scenario, on the political arena in the Israeli government. And they have ministers, they have members in the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, and they are challenging even the decisions which been taken in the government, and they are even blackmailers for the decision makers of Israel.
And it is because of this reason that the issue of Palestine becomes important. So Palestinians are under oppression, other Muslims are also under oppression. There are other non-Muslims in the world that are under oppression, but with the case of Palestine, the enemy that is oppressing is the main enemy of Muslims, and the United States is great Satan because they have provided a platform for the international Zionist network to take advantage of the United States, and hence they have properly given the title of the Great Satan. That has a beautiful name, but it's designed to take over the Muslim lands and Arab lands in a more concrete way. So the Zionists have been involved in this part of the world, have engaged in different activities, and now they have made it official. That is waged against Muslims all over the world, and also non-Muslims that are believers practicing a religion. So that's one reason this enemy is important, and fighting this enemy is important because of the cultural and intellectual influence and savagery that they have and they exercise. The second area that the International Zionist Network is causing difficulties is through economic means and through economic tools. The example of Islamic Republic of Iran is an obvious example of how economic warfare can be waged. So Iran is under a lot of sanctions.
मेरे मौला की जो आखिरी वसीयत थी वो क्या थी? कून लिज़्ज़ालिम खस्मन वलिल मज़लूम औना। ए मेरे बच्चों, ए मेरे मानने वालों, ए मेरे चाहने वालों, ए मेरे पैरोकारों, तुम्हारी जिंदगी ऐसे होनी चाहिए कि तुम जालिम के खिलाफ हो, जालिम तुम्हें अपना दुश्मन हिसाब करे और मजलूम तुम्हें अपना साथी और मददगार हिसाब करे। आज दुनिया में कुछ सबसे मजलूम है, फिलिस्तीन सबसे मजलूम है। अली के मानने वाले, अहले बैत के मानने वाले, इस्लाम के मानने वाले, रसूलुल्लाह के मानने वाले, हर फर्द की ये जिम्मेदारी है कि अपनी आवाज को बुलंद करे, जिस तरीके से हमारे ज़माने के अजीम रहनुमा, अजीम लीडर इमाम खुमैनी रिज़वानुल्लाह अलैह ने हमें ये दर्स दिया, हमें ये शऊर दिया, हमें ये आगाही दी कि हक के लिए खड़ा होना चाहिए। इंशाअल्लाह कुद्स के उस आज़ादी तक हमारी ये जद्दोजहद जारी रहेगी।
At the end, the few words from Nelson Mandela about Palestine. We all know that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestine.